Hey, so this is a picture of me not too long before things started going wrong. Um, I can tell you now that 366 days ago, I figured that at this point in time, Saturday the 23rd of April, I'd be happy, settled down, married to my gorgeous girlfriend, and at basically the next stage of my life. But, you know, fuck cancer, doesn't quite work out like that. But the reason I'm having this picture is to show that just a few months beforehand, this is early February, things can seem fine, and then suddenly everything can go to shit. So I was still looking normal, a little bit of stomach ache, but otherwise everything seemed as you'd expect. Then I realised that I can eat properly, like I used to, and I did have coronavirus, which sucked. So I think I probably would have got seen a lot faster. But I noticed that I was losing incredible amounts of weight. I've always fluctuated a little bit, but generally I'm always a very healthy person. But I just lost crazy amounts of weight. So I went to the hospital for a blood test. Here's a picture of what I look like in just a month since the previous ones. So yeah, a lot of weight had gone. Had the blood tests. They asked me to come back. I had to have some horrible stuff done to me, which I did. Fortunately, my sister and her boyfriend came along with me, which was nice of them. This picture was taken just while I was waiting to go in because they have a very nice, relaxing park area at Bournemouth Hospital. Boom, diagnosed, stage 4 cancer. You're not going to live very long. And by the time I got home, they called me up and said, okay, we need you in tonight. So here I am, back in the hospital, same night. I didn't realise at that time that I was going to be in there for quarter of a year. I thought I was going to be in out next day, but no. Unfortunately, it didn't go that smoothly. Long story short, um, basically, I had to have all these tests, blah blah blah, horrible things done to me, stuff that I wouldn't wish on anyone. I actually got given my own room, which is quite rare. I thought that was because I was lucky, but no, it's because just something like a basic cold could kill me, even though I'd somehow got through having coronavirus and this unbeknownst at the time. So yeah, here's my little isolated room, which was quite special and made a few of the other people there jealous. Unfortunately, at some point, I got an infection in the PICC line, which is something they fit to you, which they were originally planning to do chemotherapy through. So that goes into your arm, and it got an infection. So I literally had to have a month just sat there having all these horrible things pumped into me, which was very, very painful and just went on forever. Eventually, that was over. Eventually, felt like forever. My sister dropped off my computer. So I had some stuff to do, which is very nice. Kept me entertained. Uh, uh, Otherwise, I was just walking around the hospital, taking random pictures. It's a very nice hospital, Bournemouth. Um, and then eventually, after enough tests and horrible stuff, I was allowed to go home, ready to have chemotherapy, which I wouldn't say I was excited about. Apprehensive is more the term, but it's a good thing because it's necessary. So I was excited about that, and yeah, then it went wrong. So I was at home with my mum and her boyfriend, and my stomach started to really, really hurt a lot. I don't even know what time period this was. It could have been a few days or it could have been a week. I have no idea how long I was home for. Um, and it kept getting worse and worse. And eventually I was like, okay, all right, let's go to A&E, which they were wanting me to do beforehand, but eventually it got so painful that I had no choice. So I went to A&E and they were like, okay, you need to stay in. So we did. I stayed in, and it turned out that the tumor had ruptured. So what that meant was another long period in the hospital while I was on antibiotics because this tumor had gone all the way through my body and was basically going all through my system. So this is the second time I nearly died in as many months, I feel, which was, yeah, very painful and unpleasant. Lots of other stuff happened as well, but this is just an abbreviation. Uh, Eventually, the antibiotics did their thing, and the doctor came and spoke to me and said, "Look, we can't do anything. We can't do chemotherapy. You're too unwell. It's too dangerous because your tumor's ruptured. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and remove it," which they did. At this stage, you can see how dangerously thin I was. I was basically on the verge of death every day. So it was either do that or I wouldn't be gone. They said I would have had literally probably a couple of weeks. So even though this wasn't recommended and it was a big deal to do this operation, they had no choice. It was either that or just let me die then and there. So they went ahead and did it, which unbelievably actually worked. Now, this video that you can see, this is me when they basically told me I have to say my goodbyes to everyone. So I'd had a little quick. I actually didn't say goodbye to barely anyone because I was so fucking high. I didn't know what was going on. But this was a video I recorded at the time, and like you can see how unwell I was. And I was in this horrible little isolated room. Uh, and then, boom, operation done. Woke up. I'm alive. I shouldn't be. Wow. It was crazy. Yeah, it's a very unpleasant thing being told that you have to say your goodbyes to people. And yeah, looking back, I really should have actually done that, but I wasn't really with it enough to know what was going on, which is a good thing, really. So, got to go home. Had my mum looking after me, which was really amazing. She's been absolutely outstanding through this. Um, I'd love to say that I was better, but the reality is less unwell, although it doesn't feel it at the time. So having started chemo, the side effects they are they weren't that bad at the start, but they're cumulative, and at this point they are absolutely horrific. Um, yeah, just unbearable. But what can you do? You can't. There's nothing you can do about it. They might work, they might not. My chances now are better than they were, but this type of cancer comes back. It nearly always comes back, and when it comes back, it's much more aggressive. And there were three, I nearly died 3 times. If it comes back, that I survived, but partly due to the expertise of the NHS, my amazing surgeon and my oncologist, but also because I was very, very healthy. Not even intending to. I wasn't trying to be healthy. I was just naturally a healthy person, just through choices I made and the way I am. But I'm not healthy now. So I think if it came back, I don't see. I'm going to die from this. This cancer is going to kill me. It's just more a case of when. So fingers crossed this chemo does what it is supposed to do, gets rid of everything, and then I can go into remission, and at least I can have a chance of living some kind of normal life, because I don't have a normal life at the moment. It's been a year since I've seen like 5 people in the past. Anyone that's not hospital or doctor based, yeah, I've seen about 5 people for a couple of minutes each. Aside from NHS people and my mum, that's about it. Uh, I'm definitely better than I have been, definitely. So that's a positive. But I'm still having a shit time. It's still like a horrible. I'm still not living a life. I'm still spending 90% of my time, well, 99% of my time, either at the hospital, doctor surgery, or cooped up in my flat. I have moved to a new place, which is nice, and yeah, I've had help. That honestly, the 3 people that have done more than anything would be my mum, my girlfriend, uh, and I would say online based, probably Rumik. I couldn't say any more positive things about Macmillan. Um, I will say one sad thing that definitely has happened is the amount of people that just cut you off is insane when you're really, really ill. And I know it's not nastiness, it's because they don't have anything to say or they don't know how to approach it. But yeah, it's crazy how many people just cut you off and disappear from your life. So that's quite sad. Uh, Otherwise, I don't I don't really have much else to say. I'm alive. I'll probably be alive for a little bit longer than we expected, but not for a long time, unfortunately. Just keep fingers crossed. Hope everything goes well. Don't have much else to say. But yeah, what a shit year it's been. I really wish my original plans had, had gone that way instead of this way. The most disappointing thing has definitely been my sister and her husband. They've been absolute horrid cunts through all this. Vile people. They went from being very nice at first and just for no reason just completely cut me off. Just horrid people. That's the saddest thing out of all of this. They really, really set out to hurt me, and they were happy for me to die, knowing that they didn't care and that they hate me. So they're not part of the family anymore. I don't think anyone in the family is interested in ever talking to them again. So I'm never going to mention them again. Let them rot in their misery because they are miserable. I don't really have much else to say. I keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully things will go well in the future. Otherwise, thanks for listening. Peace and love. Hopefully the next update will be me saying that things have gone well and I'm in remission. Fingers crossed. Alright, take care. Bye.